In this video, we're going to build some floating shelves out of some walnut plywood and get it mounted to the wall using some metal brackets. This is a real easy and quick project that anybody can do, as long as they have a table saw, some packing tape, and some glue. So the look we're going for here is a shelf that looks like a solid piece of wood, but in order to do that, we're going to use plywood to keep the cost down, and we'll use mitered bevel cuts on all the edges to join everything so it does look like a solid piece of wood for a fraction of the cost. I start off here by cutting each of the strips that are going to make up the top, bottom, and front of the shelves, and then adjust my table saw blade to just over 45 degrees to cut the beveled corners. You can definitely do this with just a table saw, but if you have the ability to add these Jessam rollers, it helps tremendously to hold the board flat to the surface of the table saw and also up against the fence to make sure your beveled cut's perfect so that all the corners will line up. Now that I have the bottom, the face, and the top all with the miter cut running along the long edge, I'm going to take it over to the K-Pex miter saw and cut another bevel on the ends, and this will accept the side pieces of the shelf. The side pieces are also mitered on three sides to join up with the face, the top, and the bottom. Here you can see me dry assembling the shelf with some blocking pieces in the middle to keep everything square. Just kind of setting the side and the face on just to make sure everything comes together nice, which you can see here it does. And now it's time to tape up the seams so that we can glue this thing together. Once you tape up those seams, flip it over and it'll expose the inside of the joint. Spread some glue inside that joint. And then fold it up, add those blocker pieces, make sure it keeps everything 90 degrees and square. And I put the shelf on these risers so that I could attach the end caps. And for this project, it's just going in my house. They're going to be pretty high up on the wall. I'm not too worried about nail holes that are filled, so I use some Collins clips to get it close together, and then some brad nails to nail in that end cap. And then there I'm using a burnishing tool to get those corners nice and tight together with the glue still wet and the tape over the top. And then you can see once the tape's peeled off how tight those corners are. For this project, I just used Rubio Monocoat Pure and spread it on the shelves. You can see each shelf has an exposed edge, but that's going to go towards the wall. I use these brackets from Shepherd Brackets. You can find them on Etsy. They're super strong and perfect for this application. Makes things really easy. You can see they just slide right into the gap back of the shelf. Then using a laser level and a stud finder, I'll mark all the studs on the wall and where the brackets are gonna screw into. Found that using just a few screws in these brackets is plenty strong enough to hold these shelves up. Make sure everything's level again, get some screws in there. You can see how easy these shelves just slide over the brackets and up against the wall. Because the shelves are built the exact size as the brackets, there's a pretty good friction fit here. I did end up caulking all the seams against the walls just to hold them in place, but really it didn't even need it. And you can see, even though we use plywood for this entire project, it looks like a solid piece of walnut for the shelves. Thanks for watching.